are now joined by number 11 ranked UFC bantamweight Robt. We'll take our first set of questions from Gabriel Gonzalez with Cateside Press.
Hey Rob, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. Big fight, big name opponent. It's the last card of the year. Can you describe the feeling right now as the fight is just a few days away?
Yeah, I'm just ready. I'm excited to be back. It's been way too long, being tired of these damn layoffs. And yeah, I just want to get out there, put on a show and, break into the top 5.
I want to go back a bit. They announced this fight pretty quick after he'd had that loss to Corey Sandhagen. Were you surprised by the fact that they offered his name so soon after his last fight?
Yes and no. My manager and Coach Tyson kind of like hinted at it, but wasn't like something that we were going after. I figured I'll get somebody closer to my ranking, but, they threw his name. He gave me the call. I said yes, and, now we're here, but definitely a little surprised at first.
Do you expect him to fight a little differently than usual because he feels he has something to prove after that disappointing loss?
We'll see. I know. I'm expecting him to kind of come together and try to like wrestle a little more, not necessarily strike as much as usually does, but we'll see. I know, fighters coming off a loss, they're usually hungry. They usually change something up, but he switched camps. He's kind of on a skid right now, so that's kind of in my favor, and hopefully he doesn't change anything. I just put him away early.
I saw an interview you did where you said that you just didn't take advantage of some of those breakthrough opportunities in the past, like with Rafael Assunção. Can you talk about what you've done differently so that mentally and everything you are ready this time around with a big fight like Marlon?
With like those opportunities, I think I was trying to be perfect and trying to do like everything by the book, I guess. I'm going to go out there and just have fun, do what I do, and, look for the knockout as anywhere I see, finish anything, just get in there and try to put this guy away. Before I was trying to be too perfect and, wasn't like taking as much risk as I should have. And, now I'm just going to go out there and, just have fun and just take as many risks as possible.
Finally, just how do you feel you match up stylistically with Marlon and how the fight's going to play out?
Yeah, I think my reach, my footwork, and my movement's going to be a lot for him to deal with. At the same time, I want to push forward, get him tired, and look for that finish in the second round.
Thank you, Rob.
Appreciate it.
We'll take our next set of questions from Nolan King with USA Today.
Hey, Rob, appreciate the time, man. I just want to go back to the injury that you talked about. Had you had something like this before in your career, or was this the first, major hurdle health-wise that you've had to come over?
Yeah, this is my first major injury. First major injury. I haven't really, got too many, bumps and bruises, even during training camps or anything like that. And this actually happened during the fight, but we bounced back, we recovered. I got a brand new knee, and that's past me. That's behind me.
Mentally, how did you overcome those hurdles that, I'm sure last year for you, you wanted to compete more and you were healthy, and then to go out there, have a good performance and then have to be out for a year. So how did you deal with it mentally and kind of stay positive throughout all that?
Yeah, it was frustrating. It sucked. I honestly did not want to do the surgery. I didn't even think I needed surgery. I tore it in the second round, got through the third round, woke up the next day, we walked around DC, went to the zoo, did all that. And then once I got the MRI and went to see the surgeon, it was like a shock. They're like, nah, bro, you're out for a year or 9 months and you need surgery. And I was like, what? I couldn't even believe it. But, it's pissed for like 2 days, got us, and then once we booked the surgery, did the surgery and just got right back to work. I basically made rehab my new sport, my new martial art, and just put my head down and got to work. The whole pandemic and the coronavirus situation kind of like slowed everything down. So it wasn't the worst. And at the same time, I got to, tag along with Calvin. And so it kept me busy, So So it wasn't the worst, but definitely it was frustrating sitting around watching everybody else fight.
And I know you hope this probably changes going forward, but December's kind of been Rob Font Fight Month the last couple of years. You know, in terms of your skills wise, you know, how do you stay consistent and improve when maybe you're not fighting as often as you would like?
You know, I was shadow boxing on one leg. You know, I was figuring out ways to kind of like figure out ways to kick, holding the couch, just figuring out different ways to stay active. Once I was able to kind of, you know, ride the bike and shadow box, it wasn't the worst. I would watch a lot of film, watch a lot of fights. My man Mike Azanga hooked it up with the BJJ Fanatics, so I was watching all kind of you know, jiu-jitsu videos, striking videos, and just staying busy. And then obviously training people at the same time. I was still teaching, doing privates, teaching classes. So, you know, I'm in the gym all the time, not physically doing it, but I was still around. And then again, like, you know, watching Calvin rise the way he did, it was motivating and you know, urged me to, like, you know, have that hunger to get right back to it.
Last one for me. You mentioned Calvin. I know you obviously have a big fight on Saturday. He has a big one in January. How important do you think this stretch is for you guys in terms of the New England cartel and really solidifying you guys at the top of your respective divisions?
Yeah, man, this is big. You know, we got to go out there and obviously win these fights, and it brings us one step closer, bringing the belts back to New England, back to Boston, and obviously holding it down for the cartel.
Appreciate the time, man. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
We'll take our next set of questions from Damon Martin with MMA Fighting.
Hey, Rob, you mentioned, of course, you know, coming back from the injury, you know, the last thing you want to deal with is that kind of time off. But when you get a name like Marlon Moraes, you know, former title contender, top 5 or maybe top 3, I'm not sure where he's ranked in the division. Do you feel like that's almost like the ultimate present? Like you come back and you get a big fight like this, like it's almost, not that it's worth it to be off, but like it's like the ultimate present to come back to this fight.
Yeah, man, an early Christmas gift, you know. Again, it puts me right back in the mix, regardless of who I fight after this is going to be a big fight. Once I get this knockout, whoever I fight after this is going to be a huge fight. So I just got to go out there and, again, put this guy away in impressive fashion.
This is obviously mixed martial arts, but I don't think it's any giant secret that both you and Marlon like to strike. Is there any part of you that, you know, enjoys that part of the matchup, matching your striking against his striking? Because, again, that's kind of like one of those tests. When you look at a guy like Marlon, if you can beat him on the feet, that says a lot, right?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I'm always trying to prove and see where I'm at on the striking. But, you know, again, this is mixed martial arts. So if, you know, he leaves something out there as far as like a neck or his arm, I'm going to jump on it. I'm going to take it. Any opportunity I get, you know, I'm going to take and you know, make him pay for any mistakes he actually delivers.
If there's been a criticism or maybe a common theme with Marlon from some of his opponents, it's that he is a very, very fast starter, but you know, maybe not as much for the longevity later in the fight. Obviously, I'm not going to ask you to give away your game plan, but is that part of it with him? You have to be careful with him early, but do you feel like the later this fight goes, the more it does favor you? Yeah,
you know, I definitely want to push the pace the first round. Wear him a little bit, kind of get in his face, make it a little dirty. At the same time, technical, if that makes sense. And then, you know, look for the finish definitely in second toward the third round. But like I said, man, anything happens, you know, if I get the opportunity in the first round, I'm gonna put him away.
And last one for me, you know, Marlon's style is so devastating at points. You know, we've seen him with the head kick knockouts and the big knee he landed on Aljamain and things like that. And you do see some fighters when they face certain opponents like that, they come in almost, you know, nervous, you know, kind of, you know, they don't want to engage them. They're kind of gun shy a little bit. You've never really been that way in your career, but you feel like that's a big key against Marlon, not showing fear in the face of, again, I know you respect his power. He's a very dynamic striker, but not showing any kind of like nerves or fear in the face of that.
Yeah, no, that's huge. You know, you got to go in there and you know, fight everybody the same way and just have kind of that fuck it attitude and just go in there and just, you know, get your hand raised at whatever you have to do. You know, Marlon's tough. You know, he's definitely a fast starter and he definitely hits hard. But you know, who doesn't in the UFC? You know, who doesn't in the top 15? You know, so it's just another name, another opportunity, and I just got to go out there and take advantage of this opportunity.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you.
take our next set of questions from Pablo Santamaria with the TNNA Ecuador.
Hi, Rob. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the first thing I want to ask you is, you've been out for almost a year. So are you happy to be back in the octagon? And what we can expect from you?
Damn, I'm excited, man. It's been too long. I just want to put out entertaining fights, high-paced fights, and again, I just want to look for those finishes and get paid, man. I'm hunting for those bonus checks, so expect a fun fight.
I get it. So what are your thoughts of Marlon as an opponent, and where do you rank him against all your opponents you've faced?
Yeah, man, he's a savage. He's been around forever. He's followed the top guys. Believe he's a former champ in the World Series of Fighting. Was number one contender, I believe, right? Obviously for the UFC. So he's a top guy, and beating a guy like that just puts me right there. And I just got to go out there and again put this guy away, because impressive win over him puts me right there where I need to be for that title shot.
Sure. Okay. There's also a big fight between Chito Vera and Jose Aldo. Who you got in that fight?
Honestly, I don't really care. It's Chito Vera, man. Come on, man. Like, in Jose Aldo, so it's going to be an entertaining fight. I know that, but I'm not worried about that. I'm not even sure what the rankings are right now, but I whatever fight gets me closer to the belt, that's the fight I want next after this one.
I get it. So what's your prediction for this fight?
For my fight or Chito's fight?
Yes, for your fight.
Second round knockout.
Okay, thank you very much for your time, Rob, and good luck on your fight.
Thank you.
We'll take our next set of questions from Jay Anderson with Gateside Press.
Hey, Rob, welcome back. Want to start, do you have your dog with you today?
Say it one more time.
Do you have your dog with you today?
I don't have my puppies with me, man. I'm pissed. We couldn't get them out here, but next fight.
Is that because of the pandemic restrictions, or?
Yeah, definitely. They're not letting the pups in.
Bummer. All right. Well, I wanted to ask, you've been on the sidelines kind of looking at all this go down over the past year. How do you expect to react to the empty arena? Are you going to miss the fans? Is this going to be better because you can hear the coaches?
I honestly think the only thing that's going to be weird is the walkout. After that, I think once we touch glove, I touch him, he touches me. Pause. That didn't sound right. But once we get going and start fighting, I think it's going to be another day in the office,
And that last fight that he had with Sandhagen, did you see anything in that performance in terms of holes in his game that you can exploit?
Yeah, man. Sandhagen, he's on fire right now. He showed a lot. He showed a lot. What happens when you keep the range? You show a lot of footwork, and you go out there and you just be fearless. And I plan on mimicking that.
And speaking of keeping the range, then how big a factor do you think that reach advantage you have is going to be?
It's huge, man. It's huge. But again, if I don't use it, it won't mean much. But so my plan is go out there and use the range, use the footwork, and then when I need to close the gap, I'll close the gap.
All right. Well, looking forward to it this weekend. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
That's all we have.